I'm Beth. Welcome to the PandemicKnittr channel. This is episode 3 of my journey to document my knitting adventures through the summer of 2022. I'm a paraprofessional who has summers off, and I live in the north suburbs of Chicago. So today I want to talk about some finished objects, and I have a few works in progress, and one of them is going to be something I will be frogging, and then I also have some future projects that I'll be talking about. This week, as yet, nothing has shown up in the mail, so wah wah. Hopefully, I ordered some things. One of them is supposed to be coming today, and I may be starting another summer knit project, which I'm very excited about. But before I get into all of my fiber stuff, I want to talk about one of the things that I had talked about last week on my video. I was hoping to try to help grow the channel by throwing out something for people to comment on. And my offer was that I would give a shout out to anybody who commented with glows and grows, meaning tell me what I'm doing well and tell me where I need to improve. So as of this morning, when I decided to go ahead and start recording, I had 0 comments. So I don't know if the reward of a shout out was not something people were interested in, and possibly even people said, I don't want her to say my name. I don't know. But the part of the reason that I wanted comments with glows and grows is because I do want your feedback. I want to know where people think I can improve with how I am running my channel and where people think that I'm doing well. So if you don't want a shout out, that's fine. I don't need to say anybody's names if you don't want to be broadcast out there on YouTube. But I would like to hear from people. I would like to hear how you think I'm doing, what I could do better, and where I am doing well. So, I also want to talk about what's interesting to me as I look at the analytics of my channel, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So if there's an experienced YouTuber out there who can maybe give me some advice on what I'm doing wrong with my channel. But I can see with the analytics that my first video, which was put out 2 weeks ago, has been getting more views than my second video, which I would think that YouTube would be promoting the second video more than the first one, in that, you know, being that it is the most recent. So I don't understand what I'm doing with the algorithm that makes a difference. And maybe even it's something that I'm saying in my video that makes it not shown as much. I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm so new to all of this. I don't know how to conduct myself, how to run my channel. So if anybody out there has any advice for me, please let me know. There is, though, one thing that I do want to shout out, and that would be my niece Mary and her co-host Holly for a podcast that they have. They have, these are 2 young women who are on a journey to discover how best to conduct themselves with their fitness. And their podcast is called Get Fitty With It. And it is, you can find them on Instagram at Get Fitty With It Pod. And I will put a link down below for their podcast. It is an audio podcast, and I think they're doing a great job. They do a lot of talking about the fact that they know that they're not perfect. They know that, you know, they're going to make mistakes along the way, and they're finding what works best for them. So I think they're doing a great job. I haven't yet listened to this week's episode, but my niece told me that she did give a shout out to me, so I want to return the favor to her. So, well done, Mary. Now on to the fiber stuff. So, the first thing I want to talk about is this top that I'm wearing. It is called the Imprint Summer Tank, and it is by Aneta. I want to get this right. I wrote it down. Aneta Szydlak-Bleyer. No, Bleyer. I'll put that on the screen. Actually, it'll probably be up here. I'm trying to remember which side I usually put them on. It's going to be one of these places. So this top was a test knit that I had done back last summer. And what I really like about this is the neckline, the way it, you start with a circle, and then you kind of from does that make any sense? Every neckline is a circle. I don't know why I'm saying that. Well, not all of them. I should say the top that I showed last week, Daisy, does not have a circle neckline. So anyway, scratch everything I just said. It's a circular neckline, a tubular. Tubular? Is that might be the right word. Tubular. And you add stitches after you fold down the neckline. I think that makes more sense. So I liked that it was sort of, it had that halter-like look to it when I saw the pictures of the original. This looks more, when I look at it on me, it looks more just like a tank top. And I think maybe because I did a larger size than maybe I needed, that it doesn't like come out to the sides in the same way. Anyway, another cool thing about this is the zigzag pattern within it, which I will come closer and show. But first, I'm going to stand up and give it a twirl so you can see what the whole thing looks like. I can't tell how much you can see on the screen. And like even this looks extremely sheer to me, but I think probably right now you can see the zigzag pattern. So the zigzag pattern was kind of a fun thing. That to me, I like patterns that have some sort of texture to them. That's my favorite thing to knit. I like to have that interest of every so many stitches there's a purl or a yarn over, or whatever. So to me, those are the most fun things to knit. I had difficulty with gauge on this, and I think part of it was that it was a test knit, and I felt like I was putting pressure on myself to do things within the time frame that I needed to for the test knit, and I didn't get gauge and just decided, okay, I'll, classic mistake. I'll get gauge as I'm knitting. I'm not going to worry about the gauge swatch. I'll be fine. So yeah, my recommendation to anyone on any project that you want to fit your body, make sure you get gauge before, and make sure that you measure your gauge swatch before you block it and after, so that you know while you're knitting that the measurement that you're getting as the before blocking measurement matches up with what your after blocking measurement is, because it can grow, it can shrink. So that's my caveat. I feel like this could have been better fit to me if I had not rushed myself and gauge swatched properly. So with that being said, I love this project. I would knit it again. In fact, maybe that's something I should do. That would be fun. I may do that. But I have way too many plans right now for summer knits to restart this one again. So we'll see. Maybe in the future. So, the yarn. The yarn is Shibui Knits Pebble. And I will put on the screen what the makeup of that is, because I did not write that down. But I know there's some silk content, and there is merino, I think. Whoa. Anyway, the colorway is Graffiti. It is a light fingering weight yarn, and I love the color. This is a good color for me. I like purples, and you'll see that on another project that I will be showing soon. So Imprint Summer Top by Aneta Szydlak-Bleyer, and she is on Instagram. I'll put her Instagram name on the screen. So that's where I found her. That's how I ended up doing the test knit. So great project. I'd do it again. The next thing I want to show is a pair of socks. And this is a pair of socks that I completed quite some time ago, but I just love the texture on these socks. And I watch this person's YouTube channel, 3-Ply Podcast. Irene on 3-Ply Podcast designed these socks. And her name on Ravelry is Irene Designs. And I can't find my sock blockers. I know I have them. They're somewhere in this house. But here is the sock. This is the row by row same, and I'll give you some close-up texture for it. Again, I like a good texture. I love these. They fit well. What I really like about this is how long it is. I like long socks. And prior to making these socks, I had knit a lot of vanilla socks. And I was just deciding when to end the leg, because I do top down. And not knowing how much yarn I have in a whole skein, that's the wrong way to say that. because I know how much yarn is in a whole skein. They tell you right from the beginning. It's on the label. But not knowing how much distance I would get out of that, and how much I would need for the foot of the sock and everything, I was cutting my socks off, the leg of my sock, before I needed to. So now I make my socks longer. So thank you, Irene, for showing me how long I can make my socks. Long Dog Yarns Bounce Sock in the colorway Olive You Too. It is a nice tonal mix. I originally intended to use it in a Christmas colorwork sweater, but I ended up not doing that sweater yet. I actually, I had a goal one month to cast on the sweater. And so I did like a couple of rounds of the neckband, and that's all I did. So future episode, I can show my Christmas cast on, and I do have new green yarn to put in place of this one. So anyway, that was a squirrel. So those were row by row sampler socks by Irene Designs, and I think everyone should knit those socks because such a cool texture, a lot of fun. Now on to works in progress. So last week I started this project, and it was not very far along. You could see, like, I had shown the waistband, and that is as far as I have gotten, because when I was talking about the yarn on last week's episode, I said something about it not being silky smooth like superwash. And that night, I was working on this, and you need to see this great texture. I love how this came out. I think it would look beautiful if I finished the project. I think it would look beautiful. However, because of it not being a silky smooth texture, this is a very fitted garment, and I don't think I would like the way it feels when I wear it. So I think what I need is to frog this and use the yarn for a different project, because I do love the yarn, I love the color of the yarn, and I think it would make a very nice something else. So that's my story of the Summer Meadow Tee by the Cumbrian knitter. So, lesson learned. And I will say, here's what I'm happy about. That's as far as I got. I'm not going further than that. I'm currently taking the needles out of it. All these stitch markers are about to drop, and it was fun while it lasted, and I will find a better yarn to make that top in. And because I still, like, that was, I think last week I talked about how I was I had marked a whole bunch of patterns on Ravelry that I wanted to knit, a bunch of summer knits, and I have not started a whole lot of them. I mean, who doesn't mark a lot of patterns that they want to do? Is that, like, I can't imagine I'm alone in that. And maybe not everyone uses Ravelry as much as I do, but that's primarily where I get my patterns. And I know people have issues with Ravelry for various reasons, but for now, I feel like it's the simplest way to get patterns, and it's what I use. And if I find a better thing, I will use it. So that's the story of the summer meadow tea for me for now. And it's slow going getting this off the needles. Oh, I know why. Because I put bigger needles on it. It's on an interchangeable needle cable, and I put bigger needles on this project because I needed to use the needles on my next project. So on to the next project. So I decided to go ahead and cast on a different summer top. So I found one that I have been looking at. I had seen on Instagram the designer of this pattern. I did it, got it off the needles. The designer of this pattern had posted a whole bunch of patterns that she had as summer designs. And so far, isn't this adorable? I love this. This is the right sleeve. It is a sideways knit t-shirt. Is that what you call it? It's a tee. And wait, I wrote down the pattern. It is Nomad tee by Rachel Illsley of Unwind Knitwear. And I think I just heard my husband come in with the mail. I thought I heard a crinkling bag. So I'm gonna go see what that is. Okay. It has arrived. So I'm excited about this. I will talk about this in the new to me part of the episode, and I still have to open the package and everything. So on with the Nomad tee. Nomad tee by Rachel Illsley of Unwind Knitwear. It is a beautiful color work sideways knit tee, and I showed you this part, which is Suburban Stitcher, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards for 100 grams. So for a second, I thought it wasn't running. Anyway, so that River's Edge is the main color. So the all over color. And my color work colors are Suburban Stitcher again, Starstruck, which is this lovely lavender, and then the contrast is this. It is Western Sky Knits. It is also, I don't remember, I'm sure I have it somewhere and I will put it here if I can find it. It is a 75%, 25% merino nylon blend, superwash. And I don't know the name of her base. The colorway though is Vivid Violet. So it's gonna be green on here and then shades of purple in here, which I think is gonna be a really pretty like blend of colors. So I'm really looking forward to getting into the color work. I love the unique construction of this. I'm fascinated by all things knitting. Just the fact that you can take a piece of string and make it into fabric is just truly fascinating to me. And the fact that you can construct a similar looking garment in so many different ways with a piece of string. It's just so cool to me. So that's Nomad Tea. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting the name. Nomad Tea. My next whip. I have been talking about this one for weeks. From Rowan magazine number 71. I am working on a cardigan by someone whose name I don't know how to pronounce. And today I decided her first name is Vibi. I don't know. I have no intent to offend anyone. So if you're watching or if you know how to pronounce it, please let me know. Vibe. Last name is Ulrik. And I noticed last week, from watching my own episode that her last name on Ravelry is something else. It's like VB Ulrik something, which I'm sure is sitting right here right now, so you'll see it. But in this, it just says Ulrik. So I don't know which one is more current. So I apologize if I am doing anything bad to your name. Okay, so last week when I was talking about this, I'm going to show you how big this thing is. It is ginormous now, and this is where I was last week when I recorded. So I've gotten quite a bit done in the last week. Now, I will say it's been a week and a day since I recorded because of waiting for comments so that I could shout people out, because today is Wednesday when I'm recording. Last week, what I had said is I'll wait until Tuesday. And I thought, oh, that means I can't record until after Tuesday because I've given you a deadline to make your comments to get a shout out. So I have postponed recording an extra day because of that. But on to this garment and what's going on with it. So last week when I talked about this, it was right over in this area that I was having issues with the garment, that something went wrong somewhere in the knitting of it, and that I had either an extra stitch or one too few. And I could not figure it out by dropping down in that section to see where things went wrong. So when I went back to it, when I felt like I had the patience to deal with it, I looked at it and I was like, there's nothing wrong with this. So for whatever reason, it resolved itself. I don't know if that's just like maybe I picked up an extra stitch along the way and I mistakenly dropped that extra picked up stitch or what, but it magically disappeared in between last week's recording and this week's recording. So the mistake is still a mystery. and I'm happy. I'm very happy about that. So this looks like it's going to be an amazing cardigan. I can't wait to put it on. I am nearly to the point where I split for sleeves. So I know. I'm just looking at the length of it. Well, let me stand up with it and show you. So yeah, I guess depending on how long I want it, I mean, it should be like, there's my underarms where I would think, you know, this looks a little short. So I don't know. I just know that I am close. I have, I think, 8 repeats left in order to get down to the stitch count where you stop decreasing. I don't know for sure, but I guess 8 repeats is going to be, you know, a good distance more. So anyway, I'm excited about it. I think the texture is amazing. This yarn makes the texture stand out very well, and I'm excited to finish the project. I hope it comes out as well as I envision it to be. So that's Free by VB Ulrik. My next whip, I have something that I have been working on very off and on for probably, I think I started it in fall of 21. So this was, at the time that I started it, it was a new pattern by Arna and Carlos. Red Barna Unisex Jumper by Arna and Carlos. This is something that is for my son who still lives with me. In the fall of last year, so fall of 21, I had seen this. I think that was shortly after the design was released, and I asked my son if he wanted it because I just wanted to knit the pattern. And it is being done in, we got some tangled up yarn. It is being done in Stolen Stitches Nua Sport. And this gray colorway is the color work that I will be doing on the top of the sweater. And this is called Kitten Fluff. And the green that is on the sleeves, the main body of the pullover, is called Mosquito Coast. So I have not done a whole lot of color work. Most of it has been mosaic. And so this is a stranded color work. I think that's what you call it. But so far, all I have is I did do, you know what? I forgot about this. I did a gauge swatch. This is my gauge swatch. So I did some color work here, and I did it. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I did this a long time ago. So here's my floats. But down here, I clearly did it in the round. So I don't understand what I did up on the other end. I don't know what I did. This was a long time ago. But I clearly came out with what I felt was correct, at some point. And yeah, I'm not sure how much I like the contrast. I know that, oh, I remember that at some point I realized I had reversed the color. Like here you can see like these diamonds are gray, but on this side they're green. So I don't remember which one is correct. I hope I figure that out when I'm doing the project. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. But as far as the stockinette gauge swatch, the sleeves. I decided to do the sleeves 2 at a time and make that my stockinette gauge swatch for this. And so far it's coming out to gauge and I'm happy with it. This, however, has been a whip that has been sitting around for some time because I did start it in the fall and I just, every so often I go back to working on it. But I think I didn't do it as a finish it February project because I knew that we were coming up to the warmer months and I wasn't gonna finish it by the time the colder months were still going and that Ian could wear it while it was still cold outside. So that's that with that sweater. As time has gone on in this summer, I have thought, oh, probably next week I'll do an episode on just socks. Because when you're doing a weekly episode, it's hard to come up with a lot of material because you need to have a lot of progress in order to have a lot of stuff to talk about. So with that being said, I'm kind of surprised that I have been able to do as much as I have with the whips that I have. So, I mean, granted, one of them was, I'm gonna frog this. I probably would have had a whole lot more of that one done if I hadn't started the new one. And I probably would not have had as much of the cardigan done, the free, if I hadn't decided not to do the summer meadow. So there are trade-offs like that. Plus, this past weekend, I know I told you that there is another part of my life that I haven't talked about yet. This past weekend, I was judging the Midwest Regional Baton Contest. So my other world that I am part of is baton twirling. I have currently 3 private lesson students and I am no longer running group classes. The pandemic was a big part of that. When the pandemic hit, I had a team that was getting ready to compete at the baton contests of that season. Typically speaking, the baton season is usually starting in the spring and then going through the summer, at least here in Illinois. That's what it's like. So I do judge baton twirling as well as coaching it. So anyway, I am ready to open up my new yarn. I am planning to do a new summer t-shirt. It is called, I saw this on the Knitting Place. They did a YouTube live where they talked about a few summer tees, and I believe the name of the project, it'll be here, is Sea Haven. I don't remember the designer, but it'll be here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this package of yarn, and if I can figure out how to do that fast forward thing that I see some people do, I'll do that. And otherwise I'll just kind of fade into opening it, because I don't want to do, this is going to be a lot of crinkling and I don't want to do that to everyone. So time to open the package. This is a beautiful color. Okay, I can't tell what it says where, so I'm just holding it up to the camera because I'm so excited. Okay, Sandnesgarn, Lena, and it is, I'm trying to find the English version. It is 53% cotton, viscose. They spell it Viskoce. I don't think that's how it's spelled. Anyway, maybe I'm just, you know how sometimes like you think something is spelled one way and then it just doesn't seem right, but you know it is spelled right? I don't know. So 53% cotton, 33% viscose, 14% linen. And the colorway, I don't know. I'll put it on the screen, but it's this beautiful green, and oh yeah, look at how that reflects in my chin. Have you ever heard that if a color reflects on your chin, that it's a good color for you, but if it like causes a shadow, it's not a good color for you? I'm trying to see, like, no, is it causing a shadow? I don't know. Red is not a good color for me. I can't tell. I don't. Anyway, it's something I heard a long time ago. I don't know if it's true or not. I think that's all I have for this week. My intention is to post this on Friday, June 17th. And I will have another one the following Friday, and the following Friday, and the following Friday. And I really hope that I end up talking to more people. I am having fun doing this. And so if it ends up being just me documenting my summer for myself, so be it. And it may end up being just at the end of the summer, that was my summer fun, and adios everyone. I don't know. But I will go ahead and post next week, so I will see you then. Have a great week.